Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm in Thailand right now, but Sam reached out to me and was like, "Yo, bro, can you give me the updated branded sauce for all of his viewers?" And I was like, "You know what? Why not?" So I'm gonna be giving you guys a full power branded deck list that you guys can play post ban list. You know, bro, they banned D-Barrier, and I'll be honest, guys, this is actually the best deck. Like, I know, like, it's like a meme or something. Like, people say this is best deck, this is best deck, but bro, branded is actually the best deck right now, or I think it's the most sleeper deck for sure. Like, after D-Bear was one of the biggest issues, the biggest problems that this deck had, like in the current metagame. But now that card's gone, I'll be honest, guys, like this deck is actually absolutely phenomenal. Like, I think that was the only card holding that deck back in the game 2 and game 3. So yeah, I'm excited to show it off. Also, one more thing, I got some burst protocol while I was out here in Thailand, guys, and I'm gonna be opening this up for you as well. And then I'll let you guys know what do you call it, how it's gonna be, and then I'll build you guys a branded deck post burst protocol to get you guys ready for I think when it comes out in TCG in February. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Of course, guys, if you guys are interested in learning how to play branded, you guys have to get the branded master class. This will teach you everything you need to know about how to play the deck. It's not just some spreadsheet where there's a bunch of DB replays with all the lines. It's actually a very in-depth, comprehensive guide over, I think, like 13,000 words that literally goes over, you know, why you play what you play, the card choices that you can play in the deck, things you can take in and out to adapt to your own deck building style. It also includes like how to achieve the combo with basically, like, it teaches you the fundamentals of like branded combos, so you can understand how to achieve the end board that I go for, at least, that I think you should go for, regardless of, like, you know, so you don't have to memorize any lines. So it will teach you more like the fundamentals, right? Guys, before we begin to the deck profile, I know a bunch of promo guys, but this is my favorite deck box of all time. I genuinely do like this deck box a lot, and so I recommend you guys get this yourself. You can see it has my name, Pack 10, inner circle, and you guys can get this yourself. I believe there's like a couple left. I don't know how much there are, but get them now. They might even be gone by the time this video goes out, but yeah, use Pack 10, guys. Support your boy and support Supreme Pro. But yeah, let's jump right into the profile. World tokens. All right. Of course, you have to play triple Aluber. This is the best card in the deck. This card is so insane now because historically, like, you can only you mainly search brand fusion off the card, but now there's like another target that you can add that's absolutely phenomenal, which is the Fallen the Virtuous. The reason why this actually matters is that if you get floodgated out, this card is an out to a floodgate, right? Let's say your opponent tries to sanctify or lock you, because there's gonna be more branded mirrors, I'm assuming, and they give you Edo or Vice King Requiem. The fact that Aluber can grab this card means that you can use this to out a floodgate, because you can pop the Edo that they gave you, or you can pop like the the Requiem, the Vice King Requiem that they give you. So it's really strong there. But yeah, this card is like the bread and butter of the deck, and it's gonna be your main starter. Next, we gotta play 3 Albaz. Unfortunately, guys, we do not have burst protocol in the TCG. If we did, then this would be replaced with Fallen of the White Dragon, which is absolutely phenomenal. But of course, we're just gonna play this in the meantime, just because this is gonna be you want to draw this card. Actually, a lot of people think this card is a brick, but it's not really a brick, because you want to draw it. Like, the reason why you want to draw it is because you can put it in circulation. What I mean by that is you have it in your hand already, or you put it in the graveyard. It's really good for you, because then you can like set up a lot of plays on your opponent's turn, because a lot of the branded strength is like being able to play on their opponent's turn and setting up hidden interactions that your opponent is not aware of. So yeah, then you play double Quem. Quem has gotten a lot better after the structure that came out, because I think you have to play 2, like, mandatory. Like, I thought you could get away with 1 in the past, but now it needs to be 2 for sure, because her effect to reborn any of the Fallen of Albaz or monster that mentions it comes up even more because of like Fallen of the Virtuous, right? Like, if you think about this interaction where you have a Quem on the board, and then you have a Mirror Jade on the board, at end phase, you're going to use Mirror Jade to send a fusion monster to get value. Then you're going to use Fallen Virtuous to pop your own Mirror Jade, and then that's going to send another extra card. You get more value there, and then you're going to trigger Quem to bring back Mirror Jade, and then Mirror Jade basically has another effect because it's once per turn per copy. So you're getting infinite value because of Quem's effect to reborn the Mirror Jade. So it's really important that you can play multiple Quems, so you have it in rotation. So there's 2 Quems. Triple Shrouded Dragon. This is like, it's literally, it counts as Fall of Albaz on the field or the grave. So one thing that you usually do is like you would activate Shrouded Dragon and then chain High Spirits to put it in the graveyard. You can also use Quem to dump Shrouded Dragon, which counts as a Fall of Albaz. and then you can special summon like a Cartesia, and then you can fuse these two away to make Grangonol to dump Sarnier, which dumps like Brand Fusion, and then you can use this from the graveyard dump Retribution. So there's a lot of really cool lines with how this being counted as an Albaz allows it so that Quem plus Cartesia is full combo, which is normally it's not, but because of this card, it makes it full combo because you're able to special Cartesia when you go Quem dump Albion, which is broken, obviously. And then of course, 2 Cartesia kind of like hinted at it. This card is absolutely phenomenal because this card sets up Grangonol on your opponent's turn, and it also keeps adding itself back, which is actually really relevant in this format because of Murakumo. So like when your opponent makes you discard a card, sure, no problem, you get this free value back and then just pitch it, right? And then finally, guys, for the goo that a lot of people don't really see play right now, Ecclesia, the Incredible Virtuous. I think you should be playing this card now, not only because it makes your Devouring Dragon it makes this card a towers now, which means that you always get to turn 3, which is really important. And then not only that, this card adds itself back in end phase similar to Cartesia. You can use Quem to actually dump this card, because when you have Albaz in rotation, you don't really have good stuff to send off of Quem. So this card being able to dump Cartesia, and then Cartesia can then summon itself to tag itself out into an Albaz is like really broken. So I think it's really, really good. And then it's just like another push. I think this card is really good. Like even if you I think like the other fact is that it adds itself back in end phase. So like I said, you're getting a bunch of value back in your hand, which is I think really important. So there's a card in the extra deck that I want to play that I don't own at the moment, so I can't really showcase it, but we'll talk about it when we get there. But it's the Dogmatica Synchro, the Synchro 12, which allows you to basically summon this card at end phase. You play 1 Mercurier. You only need 1 because you can easily, even if you banish it, one thing you can do on your opponent's turn is when you have Branded Loss up and this card is already in the banish, you can use Rinbrum to summon back like Albaz. So you go like Rinbrum, summon back Albaz, Albaz effect, fuse your opponent's stuff away, summon this. You would go Chainlink 1 loss, Chainlink 2 Devouring Dragon, Chainlink 2 shuffles back the Mercurial into your deck, and then Chainlink 1 loss gets you the Mercurial back to your hand. So even if you play 1, it's so easily, you can put it back very easily. So it's fine in my opinion. But yeah, it's good because it's a card that you want to actually add in some setups, and because I built my extra deck in a certain way, you're actually able to end on this card in your hand a lot more often. And this card is really important because one of the things that Brandon has trouble dealing with is graveyard monster effects, and this card basically deals with that. You can use this to like negate, for example, if they go Habakiri for Saji, being able to like use this to negate the Saji is just like exceptional. And it's like one of the things I was kind of talking about in the masterclass, where like cards like this makes it so that you can deal with like graveyard interruptions. Kit, this card is basically how you end on the full setup. What I mean by full setup is you end on both red, and you end on Fallen Virtuous set, or you end on Retribution set. It's either Retribution red or you end on Virtuous. With this, if you guys check out my channel, you can see the combo. But this is really important to end on both of these, because this card gets you a Retribution or a red, and then end phase you get back Fallen Virtuous. So this card lets you end on both. And then this card gives you an infinite grind game as well, because you can add from banish as well. So you can do something like Retribution, add back this to hand, special this, and use this, add this back to your hand. So it's just ridiculous. Like, so yeah, infinite grind game card. And then you have to play this. It's a Garnet, but it's really important because going second, you obviously when you send it off Brand Fusion, you can add like Quem or Luber, which is important. But some of the more underrated effects of this card is that you can banish it from the graveyard to set a branded spell and trap card face down. How that comes up is in the current format is, let's say you go Branded Fusion and your opponent heralds they herald this, right? Something you can do is if you have like, let's say Branded Opening, you can use Opening to pitch like Tragedy, right? Put it in the graveyard, summon like a Quem, but you don't trigger Tragedy to add. You rather just go banish Tragedy and set back Branded Fusion and use it again. So like that's something that you have to keep in mind, that the effect to set back a Branded Spell and Trap is quite important actually. So yeah, but of course going second also lets you chain block, so that's why it's also really strong. For some of the hand traps that are also functional as extenders is Sarnier and Mag. I think these Bissos are really good right now. There should be more branded being played because of the hype with the structure deck, so I figured having more Bissos is always useful. This card is also really good because it's a Bestial, which is broken because you get the body, but then it also Has ability to send a branded spell and trap card. Like, it's just ridiculous in my opinion. So this card is just really good. It's like the best card in the branded deck, so I want to max out on it. And then you play one Lebellion. Yeah, I sold my QCR, guys. I need to get it back. And then of course the freaking God card, Branded Fusion. It's at 2 here, which is insane. Yeah, there's not much to say about it. It's just literally the best card in the deck. What fusion you make off this is like really tests your ability as a good branded player, because obviously you can make a bunch of things off Branded Fusion, but I think depending on the game state, knowing which fusions to make off this is really key. So yeah, and then you have obviously Triple Fallen Virtuous, which I kind of mentioned already. One thing is, because I played the Ecclesia the Virtuous, which you can dump off Quem, you actually get to use the second effect of this, which some people said it's not really relevant, but I think it can be kind of cool, because you basically make this card a DD Crow essentially, because if this card is in your graveyard, this card has a second effect to basically summon its monster reborn from either player's field. Now, how that comes up is against like the pure Yummy deck, or even against like Yummy Mitsurugi, you can use the second effect to summon back their Herald on your side of the field. So you basically just take their Omni Negate, and then like, you know, you basically use this to set up an Omni Negate for free. So it's just crazy, to be honest. But yeah, of course, and then it has the effect to like pop a card, any face-up card on the field. Another cool interaction is like when you play against Draco Tail, you can go Branded Fusion. If they try to flame it, you can chain Fallen Virtuous to pop your own Branded Fusion to make sure that Branded Fusion resolve, because Flame has to target and negate the card on the field, but obviously it mimics like the droplets type effects of the card by destroying it, so which is insane. You play 1 red, just another way to fusion summon. Yeah, there's not really much to say about it, to be honest. It's just one of the best ways to fusion summon. It's a card you use the last, because the way you want to sequence your interactions as a branded player is you want to bring back the Albaz from your graveyard first and then fuse with their stuff, because you don't want to start red first, because if you do, red banishes the materials, right? So obviously you wanna not do that. So yeah. And then triple opening. I mean, this card is nuts. If your opponent, like, say, like if you go branded opening in draw phase, your opponent chains Fua, you can just add the Luber to your hand, which is just crazy. I mean, if you guys played Master, you would know, because your opponent be chaining Maxine shit, you know, like, so yeah, that card is just crazy. And then the other effect is, which also comes up, as you see, Branded has so many secret effects. It's not secret, but like it has so many additional effects, and they actually do come up. And I think that's why this deck is so interesting, is because like it's a convoluted wall of text for every single card, but they all come up in some shape or form. So for Branded opening, the second effect is that it protects all your fusion monsters from card effect destruction. Now with Murakuma in the format, this card makes it so that if your opponent goes effect to ritual, you can like chain Cartesia, make like a Grand Gunal, for example, and then they'll try to nuke your board with Murakumo, but you just go brand opening, banish, protects it. So their Murakumo doesn't actually force you to activate Mirror Jade, doesn't force you to use any of your interruptions, which I think is like really important. So I think brand opening is just crazy for that reason. It's the same thing with like Aluber. Like what's really cool is that Aluber is like similar, because like the second effect of Aluber is that if a fusion monster leaves the field by your opponent's card, let's say your opponent like pan pops one of your fusion, you can use Aluber to summon itself back and negate like their Secretarion, for example. So a bunch of like extra effects that just comes up. Triple High Spirits, this card is how you beat Impulse and Ash Blossom on Branded Fusion. So I don't see a reason not to max out on it. If you get Ash or Impulse on Branded Fusion, this card is Branded Fusion 2.0, so you just have to max out on it. I play all the dragons to make this card as live as possible. So yeah. And then one loss. I mean, this card is just crazy. Your opponent just can't respond, and it keeps getting you free pluses, so just great. Then you play 1 Retribution, and then 1 duplication to copy off Thrust, which we'll go after. But yeah, Retribution is really good because in this format, this card is actually important because it's a Solemn, and that effect comes up because you want to use this to Solemn the effect of your opponent to Ritual Summon. So it's just really good right now. And then if you, like, one cool thing you can do is that even if you banish it, you can use cards like Sprint to summon Spriggan's Kit, add this to your hand, put it to the bottom of your deck, then trigger Albion, then you trigger Albion, and then you use this to set it. So that's, yeah, so this card is just crazy. So you can actually use it, like you can use it on your turn to add back a card, put it back in the deck, and then set it. So you only need 1. I mean, you could theoretically play 2. I literally thought about playing 2, but I think 1 is enough. I don't want to brick. And then some they're basically branded cards, but they don't have branded in the name. I mean, literally the alternate art is just insane. It's literally freaking Cartesia and Albaz kissing. I mean, holding hands. But yeah, this card is just crazy because it can summon you Cartesia or Albaz, and both the cards are excellent options in the format. Cartesia is just, yeah, it's just honestly the most of them you're summoning Cartesia, but there's some spots for summoning Albaz. So not much to say about it though. It's just a really good card. For the non-engine, you play triple droplets. I like this more than Dark Ruler or Super Poly because it gives you a lot of outplay potential, especially because you can sack your own cards to dodge impermanences. You can, like, if your opponent tries to floodgate you, this is an out to a floodgate like monster. It's just overall I think like better in that sense. So I think this is better. And then yeah, it gives you a lot of outplay potential. Going first also, the reason why it's so broken in this deck is because it works going first. So I'll show you another example. Let's say you have Quem with a set droplets and you have like a Mirror Jade. You can go affect a Mirror Jade, send Albion, chain droplet, sack the Mirror Jade. You negate one of your opponent's cards, resolution, Quem, bring back the Jade. Just like an insane interaction to put Jade in the graveyard so you can Quem it back. So it's just really broken, to be honest. 3 thrusts. This card is literally Branded Fusion going second, or it's basically Talents going second. It could also be Fusion Deployment. So it's just a really good card. It's more copies of Branded Fusion. I think people undervalue how important it is to get Branded Fusion rotation because you just need to use this to bait one of your opponent's interruptions. So it's just really good. Yeah, so I think Thrust is crazy. My side deck also makes Thrust a lot better, so that's why I think this card is good. Talents for the Thrust, and then I mean, if you draw 2 in this deck, every card in your deck is ridiculous. Like every time you activate Talents to draw 2, like there's so many crazy cards in your deck that you can like draw into. That like I use Talents to draw most of the time because like my entire deck is broken. Call by because it's just good in the format, and then 3 Furos, just the best Charmy at the moment, and then 1 duplication for Thrust. You can play Ito. I think this card is better than the side deck. I don't think it's good this format because a lot of people might play Breakers, so it kind of depends how the format develops. But I have it there as an honorary mention. You can definitely add it to your deck as an extra card. I don't hate it, but it's definitely a flex spot for sure because I think your branding interruptions, you literally have 10 interruptions with branded cards. Like you have like actual 10 interrupts. Like I don't really think you need to lock your opponent out as long as you know how to play the deck correctly. Like I think you can definitely win without it, in my opinion. And the lock, like I said, is not really consistent. Like there's a lot of outs to it, droplets, eclipse. Even in the branded mirror, your opponent just goes activate opening. They might not be able to summon any monsters, but they can add a Looper to hand, normal summon a Looper, and then grab Fallen Virtuous, pop the own Floodgate, and then cook your. For the extra deck, I play 1 Mirror Jade. This is definitely a very big change, but I honestly been playing this deck for a minute now, and I realized you only really need 1 Jade. The second one rarely comes up, and if you manage your resource rotation correctly, you never actually need the second one. But I think 1 is all you really need. Yeah, you honestly don't really need more. The reason why I play 1 is because I want to fit other extra deck cards that I think are really important to the combo and the deck. So I think 1 is, in my opinion, good enough. You can loop it off Quem multiple times. Honestly, you can only control 1 Jade half the game. So like you really are okay with just playing 1. This card is crazy because I think this card is the best fusion monster ever printed, to be honest. Because the other thing too you have to keep in mind is that this card says if this card leaves the field by your opponent's cards, if you fusion summoned it, it destroys all your opponent's monsters end phase, which puts your opponent in a very tough predicament because they basically have to win that turn. The issue is that not a lot of decks can win that turn. And so, because there's a lot of grind games back and forth, so the fact that Mirror Jade in the grind game makes it so your opponent can establish interruption on your turn is just like ridiculous. So yeah, the wire card's good. 2 Albion, 2 is pretty much mandatory. You're gonna send 1 and then use 1 to fuse. It's basically Miracle Fusion. There's not much to say about it though, but it enables a lot of your like really good fusions. So, and then 1 more fusion is Lubellion. Like I said, these are gonna be your fusion. This is what makes branded fusion broken because of these 2, to be honest. Because they basically let you dump any light or any dark monster from your deck, and then perform a fusion summon. So, and then 1 Rinbrum because you want to use this to bring back Albaz. That's gonna be the main reason to use it. And then for some of the goo, we're gonna play 1 Sprint, and then we're gonna be playing 1 Brigand. So these are the 2 cards I decided to add to the deck that I thought were exceptional. So there's a lot of combo that I started thinking about where basically Brigand allows you to add Mercury to your hand. I don't really like using this because there's some combos where I use this and this, so you still get Mercurial access. Not only that, Brigand can also be used to summon Albaz or add Albaz. Summoning Albaz is really important because I really want to save my Titanium Clad to summon Quem. Ideally, I don't want to burn Titanium Clad to ever summon Albaz. I really want to use these two. Sprint does something similar, except Sprint can summon any Spriggan's monster from your deck, so you can actually summon Spriggan's Kit and do the combo I was talking about, where if you have a banished Retribution, because sometimes like one of your only ways to Brand Fusion is through dumping Brand Fusion and then retributing it back. Therefore, you need this card in order to do a line where you summon the Kit and then use Kit to put back the Brand Fusion. I'm sorry, the Brand Retribution into the bottom of your deck, and then so you can set it. And sending Brand Retribution is really important because it's how you beat, like it's one of the ways you beat the mirror match, because it negates the effect, not the activation. So they can't just play another Brand Fusion basically. So, let me double. Oh no, sorry, it negates. No, sorry, that's incorrect. It negates activation, but it's just not a way to stop like one of their fusion plays. So it's actually, I think it's still pretty good. And then, yeah, so I think these two are nice. Then you play one Titanium Clad, obviously, mainly summon Quem. And like I said, Quem's really broken in the format because it lets you loop all your resources, keeps bringing cards back. This card is like the new card, and this card is really good right now because it makes it so your Albaz can fuse with multiple monsters. And then this card basically shuffles their stuff back non-targeting. So even into a board, you can like deployment for Albaz and use Albaz to like fuse away their stuff, and then use the effect to shuffle back too. To put back like their Yummy Links, put back their like stuff that's reborn off the Synchro. If you go normal summon Albaz effect and they chain the Synchro to tag out, you can use the two monsters they tagged out into it, and then those two Yummy monsters don't get their trigger effects because they got fusioned away. So the card is crazy, and it also becomes the towers because I play Ecclesia, and that's actually quite relevant because a 3500 towers is really hard out in this format. It's just not easy, and so yeah, card's just insane. Then two Grand Gunnel, you need two. You need one going, when you have a Cartesia Quem setup, you need to make one Grand Gunnel on your turn, and you need a second one to make on your opponent's turn. So that's why you have to play two. And then I play one Querulous because it's something you summon off Grand Gunnel, which is a really good. Sanctifier, this card is not supposed to be Sanctifier. I don't play Sanctifier. I actually play the Synchro 12, but I don't have the card, so I have this as a proxy at the moment. But you don't really need Sanctifier. I know a lot of people ask me in the comments of my one of my videos, like, do you need a Sanctifier? You actually don't need it. It only really comes up to beat evenly matched, to be honest. So if you think a lot of people are moving to evenly, you can play this card to basically respect evenly match. I think that's it. But if evenly match isn't played, then I don't think you need it, pretty much. If you're not doing the lock, at least. If you play the lock, obviously you need it. But I played the Synchro 12. I forgot the name of it. Maybe the editor can like put it up. But the Synchro 12 allows you to send off of Grand Gunnel the Synchro 12, which allows you to special summon Ecclesia or Cartesia or Quem. So it's just another way of more of access to Quem. And then Grand Gunnel can also tag itself out into the Synchro 12, which is basically a permanent negate, actually, of any phase of cards. So it's pretty good. And then I play these two fusion monsters that are generic to make off of Cartesia, Albion, and then also Lubellion. This deck has a hard time dealing with back row, so you need to play these two cards to respect back row. That's the main reason, yeah. Because like sometimes like under loss, they might have like set super polys or something. You want to be able to make Chaos and pop two back row. Your opponent can't respond, and so yeah, you need these cards to force back row, or else your deck literally cannot force back row. So that's pretty much the extra deck. And then for the side, so right now I have 3 Ash Blossom, because if you know you're going first, it's like good to like stop full roast and stuff. But I don't really have it in the main deck because I don't think the non-engine is like that good. And then I'm siding 3 Double Cyclone for the Draco Tail matchup because D-Berry got hit, which means that there might be more Draco Tail. Double Cyclone is a way to make it so your spells resolve through Flame. And then I have 3 Evenly Match. So I think that card is like really good right now because Branded can play Memphis too. You don't need to kill with Branded, so Evenly is good. But yeah, obviously, like I said, you should play Sanctifier if Evenly is in the format. But I'm telling you guys to play Evenly, so maybe you should play Sanctifier because other people might start copying that too. And then I have 3 Droll and Lockbird because you can actually Droll yourself and then do the full combo, which is kind of crazy. And then Droll is just a good non-engine into any kind of like crazy combo deck. and then I have 3 Dark Wither No More, just like a generic card that beat like, because I think board breakers are really good right now because there's not really a lot of crazy floodgates. The only one is like Featherstorm, which I've seen some Yummy players do, which can kind of be annoying. So maybe, but like you don't really have a good way to outplay that, to be honest. But if you, because you don't play hand traps, they can't really thrust for it pretty much. So I think that's like at least one benefit. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely check out the masterclass if you guys want more details and more info. And then yeah, be on the lookout for a burst protocol list. And then yeah, hope you guys learned something from the deck profile. Thanks.